Hello, I'm Paul Douglas. Welcome to this next part in my guitar soloing video series. In this video, we're going to look at some note choices. Basically, we're going to learn a couple of scales that we can pick notes from for our guitar solos. Now, I didn't want this series to turn into a series where I just teach you a load of scales. That would be very dull, and there are loads and loads of videos where you can learn how to play all sorts of weird and wonderful scales. So that's not what I'm going to do here, but we have to pick some notes to play and we have to get those notes from somewhere. So what I've decided to do is we'll just look at two simple, standard, very basic scales. You may well know these already. If you do, then feel free to skip ahead a bit in this video. We're going to take a look at the minor pentatonic scale and the standard major scale, particularly the A minor pentatonic and the blues scale and the A major scale. So let's very quickly just recap these scales. If you've been playing the guitar for any length of time, I dare say you already know the minor pentatonic, but let's take a look at A minor pentatonic. So we start on the low E string, at the 5th fret, then we're going to play 8, and the next string we're going to play 5 and 7, and the next string we're going to play 5 and 7 again. So we have, then onto the G string we're going to play 5 and 7 again, and on the B string 5 and 8, and then on the high E string 5, and if you want you can play 8 as well. So the whole scale is hopefully that isn't that much of a surprise to you. If you are a complete beginner, feel free to go back and slow that down on YouTube and watch it as many times as you want. That scale is going to be hugely useful to you in your guitar playing life. One variation of the minor pentatonic is called the blues scale, which is basically the same scale with just one note added, which is sometimes referred to as the blues note. If we play that scale, we start exactly the same. 5 and 8 on the low E string. Then instead of playing 5 and 7, this time we're going to play 5, 6 and 7. So that note there, that E flat, is called the blues note. So we have, then you're going to play 5 and 7, and then on the G string 5 and 7. But in addition to that, we're also going to play 8 there on the G string. Then we're going to play 5 and 8 on the B string and 5 and 8 on the high E string. So going up the blues scale, we have this. And there you have the A minor pentatonic and A blues scale. Now, of course, you can move that exact same shape up around the neck. So if we move that 2 frets this way, then we would have the B minor pentatonic scale. If we moved up to, say, the 12th fret, we would have the E minor pentatonic scale, etc. So you should be able to adapt that shape very, very easily to play in any key, depending on where you are on the neck, what you choose as your starting note. Let's move on to looking at the standard major scale. I'm going to show you A major here. Now, there are various ways you can play a standard major scale on the guitar. I'm going to show you what I personally think is the easiest. There's probably thousands of guitar players out there that will disagree with me on this, but that's perfectly fine. It's just an opinion. Here we are, the A major scale. So we're going to start as we did with the minor pentatonic on the 5th fret of the low E string. So low E, 5 and 7, then the A string, 4, 5 and 7, and the D string, 6 and 7. We'll then go up, so we make it 2 octaves. Onto the G string, we have 4 and 6, and 7. Then onto the B string, we have 5 and 7. And then finally, on the high E string, we have 4 and 5. It's played right through that 2 octave scale. So there we have a 2 octave A major scale. Now you may be thinking, okay, so you've taught me some scales, now what? What notes do I choose to play? Well, that's a perfectly reasonable question, a very good question. What I could do is I could sit here and I could teach you 100 licks maybe of using notes from those scales, but I really don't want to do that. What I want to do is enable you to be able to make your own up. The best advice I can give you here is experiment. Just try stuff. You know, obviously you can just practice going up and down the scale. That's not going to be very interesting. Just have a play around, see what comes out. Don't be afraid to experiment, and also don't be afraid to sound shit. It's very important. You learn by making mistakes, so you may spend a few minutes soloing and the vast majority of it sounds rubbish to you, but you may just have a couple of seconds there where you come up with something fantastic. Never be afraid to do that. One point that I should make about these scales is that they are just a guide. They're a basis. They are not hard and fast rules. So if you decide, okay, I'm going to try a little bit of improvisation using the A minor pentatonic, if you play a note that is not in that A minor pentatonic scale, that is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a basis. It's just somewhere to start from. Never think that there are really hard and fast rules. It's your music. You can do whatever you like. The only rule is that if it sounds good to you, it is good. That's it. To go along with this video course, I have made a couple of backing tracks. I've made 2 of them. One designed for you to solo over using the A minor pentatonic or blues scale, and another one designed for you to solo over using the A major scale. These are both available on YouTube. I shall put links in the description below. What I want you to do is try improvising over these backing tracks using the scales that we've discussed in this lesson. And just experiment. Don't be afraid to try things out. Don't be disheartened if things sound rubbish, because through the process of discovering a few things that don't sound very good, you will discover stuff that does sound good and that you really like, and you can start building up a bank of these licks that you've discovered yourself in your brain. I always find that if you come up with things yourself, you tend to remember them far better than if you learn someone else's lick. Also, if you come up with stuff yourself, it sounds like you. It doesn't sound like you trying to pretend to be someone else, which I think is very important. Please use those backing tracks to practice improvising over. If you want to post a video of yourself improvising over those backing tracks using the sound from those tracks, that's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that. I would encourage you to do that. That would be fantastic. Thanks very much for watching this video. Please continue on to the next video in the series, where we're going to be taking a look at something that's very important with soloing, and that is rhythmic variation, something that all the best lead guitarists are very, very good at. Once again, thanks for watching. Please click the subscribe button down there below. It really does help me out if you subscribe to the channel. Feel free to like and share this video. Once again, thanks for watching. I've been Paul Douglas, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.